Hey vecino, good morning. ¿Ya tienes tu cafecito? Porque hoy we're going to talk about something a little uncomfortable, pero también something very real. Let me paint you a picture. You're at a gathering. Family, friends, comunidad. Music's playing, food is everywhere, people are laughing, everything looks normal. But there's something in that room that feels off. You notice her. Maybe it's how quiet she is. Maybe it's the way that she avoids eye contact. Y a lo mejor it's something that you've seen before. You can tell that she's not okay. And here's the thing, you're not the only one who notices. Everybody sees it, pero nadie dice nada. It's like there's an unspoken agreement there. Don't bring it up, don't make it awkward, don't cause problems. And in that silence, something else happens. People protect his reputation more than her dignity. Y todos lo saben. If you've ever experienced a moment like that, then you already understand what we're talking about today. So, okay, vecino, grab your cafecito. This is the Entre Mundos Podcast. It's a space for bicultural Latinos navigating life between cultures. Aquí hablamos de cultura, identidad, mental health, family expectations, and what it means to honor your roots without losing yourself. Quick reminder though, even though I'm a trauma informed counselor, this podcast is not a therapy and it's not a replacement for therapy. Mejor think of this like a conversation between you and your favorite vecino, someone who understands both cultura y psychology. Okay, let's go back to that scenario. What makes that moment powerful isn't just what's happening, it's what's not happening. Nobody checking in, nobody saying, Oye, are you okay? Instead, what happens is the music keeps on playing, the jokes continue, plates keep getting passed, but underneath all of that, there's something that's unresolved. And if you've been in spaces like that, then you know what the feeling is like too. It's like everyone is choosing not to see. And everyone's choosing not to see something that everyone sees clearly. And sometimes, whenever she does speak up, and whenever she does, instead of being heard, she gets labeled. Estás exagerando. Es muy dramática. Siempre hace problema. And suddenly it's no longer about what happened. Now people make it about her reaction. And this is where it gets complicated because now speaking the truth comes with consequences. You see, for many women, speaking up doesn't lead to support, it leads to being seen as the problem. And there's something that's happening underneath all of this. It's the unspoken need to protect the family or the community. No digas nada. No hagas quedar mal. La ropa sucia se lava en casa. And again, this comes from people wanting to protect, pero a veces protecting the family image becomes more than protecting the people in it. This is where things get really confusing because silence ends up getting framed as respect. Being quiet is seen as respectful, and speaking up is seen as disrespectful. And now doing what feels right feels wrong, and staying quiet feels like the only safe option. Now, I want to be clear, machismo isn't just one thing. At its best, it represents responsibility, protection, showing up, providing, y todo eso importa. But when strength becomes control, authority, dominance, then listening gets lost. And real strength isn't just about protecting, it's about being able to listen to someone when they're hurting. I want to share something briefly because this isn't just something that I've seen, it's something that I've lived. When I was younger, I went through something that I didn't have words for. And whenever I finally spoke up about it, I was told by someone that I respected not to talk about it. Él me dijo que people would think of me differently if they knew. Me dijo que era mejor si me quedaba callado. So what stayed with me wasn't just what happened, it was also the message, stay quiet. And I carried that around for years. Mira, this is where suffering gets bigger because silence doesn't just affect women, it affects men too, especially whenever vulnerability doesn't match what toxic forms of machismo say that strength is supposed to look like. Something that we don't always talk about is how the environments that we grow up in teach our brains and nervous system what's safe and what is not. And if you grow up in spaces where staying quiet keeps the peace and compliance avoids conflict, then your system learns this is how we stay safe. So later on in life, thinking about speaking up can feel uncomfortable, not because something is wrong with you, but because your system learned that speaking up might cost you connection. Y luego, when something is obvious, but nobody names it, something else happens. You start to question yourself. Did I imagine that? Was it really that serious? Why is nobody saying anything? And that's one of the hardest parts because now it's not just about what happened, it's about whether you can trust what you felt. Then you step outside into American culture, and the message sounds different. Speak up, use your voice, stand your ground. Pero también, it's not always that simple because even here, there are still systems where women and minorities aren't always heard. In fact, they're ignored. So now you're navigating two worlds and not one right and one wrong, but two systems, los dos con strengths y los dos con blind spots. Y esto no quiere decir that something is wrong with you. What is meant is that you're navigating complexity. Mira, there are parts of machismo that are worth keeping: strength, responsibility, protection. Pero también, if strength doesn't include listening, if protection doesn't include making space for truth, then something's missing. Real strength is creating space where people feel safe to be heard. And part of living entre mundos is carrying forward what's healthy y a la misma vez letting go of what causes harm, not rejecting our culture, but allowing it to grow. Mina, before we wrap up, I want to leave you with something to think about. Ask yourself this question: where in my life have I stayed quiet even when something inside me knew that it wasn't right? And what did that silence cost me or someone I care about? And you don't have to answer that all at once, but it's worth sitting with. Because sometimes the work isn't about having the perfect answer, it's about being honest with ourselves for the first time. If this is something that you've experienced, know that you're not the only one. These are conversations many of us have lived but never have had the space to talk about. So if someone came to mind while you were listening, compártelo. Send this episode, porque sometimes hearing something said out loud can make a difference. If you'd like to continue this conversation, you can also find me on Substack, TikTok, and Instagram under Entre Mundos Collective. And if you'd like to go deeper, I put together something for you. It's a guide for bicultural Latinos on the topic of boundaries y cultura. And you get a free download of that when you subscribe to my free Substack. Check it out. And of course, don't forget to tell all your vecinos about your favorite bicultural vecino who understands cultura y psychology. But until next time, take care of yourselves, take care of your people, and keep honoring your roots without losing yourself. Un abrazote fuerte. Hasta luego. Bye.